If you guys didn't know, I am a massive video game fan. Some of the fondest memories that I have as a child is playing video games with my friends, my family. It's just something that's very memorable for me. And something very cool that Funko makes is video game Funko Pop. So I want to show you every single video game pop that I have in my collection. It should be a really good time. So without any further ado, let's get it started. Here we go.
Here we go.
By the way, speaking of video game Funko Pops, I've got a couple of awesome video game pieces right here from Call of Duty in my next Whatnot auction. And this auction is literally gonna be tonight, guys. So if you wanna check it out, use the link down below. And if you're a new user, you can get $15 off any of these Funko Pops or anything that I'll have available in the auction. But anyways, these are some really great pops. And if you don't wanna miss out on those, definitely check out that auction. But back to business, folks. I have a pretty good sized video game Funko Pop collection. And I think what I'm gonna do is show them off in different categories to you. So let's get it started. So first category that I'm starting off with here is kind of my random ones that didn't really fit into a category. All right, I'm gonna go from left to right. So first off, folks, I have the Disco Zombie from Plants vs. Zombies right here. And honestly, this was a game that I played a lot on the PC. It was on PopCap Games, I believe, back in the day. But this is one that I don't have a box for. I would love to collect, you know, the whole line of Plants vs. Zombies. Some of those can get a little bit pricey, but someday I'll have to add the other ones to my collection. I remember finding this a little while ago out of box, but it's still a really awesome one. Up next, guys, we have a classic PlayStation character, Spyro, right here with Sparks, his little dragonfly buddy. Honestly, there's a lot of great detail on this pop with the horns, you know, the wings and everything, and his scales. The colors on point with the purple. But I loved playing Spyro back in the day on the PlayStation 1, guys. One of my favorite games for sure. And it's one of my early memories of me playing video games with one of my friends because he had a PlayStation and I didn't, and this was one of the games we played. Okay, so this next pop, guys, might not be a part of the games category. As you can see right there, it does say sports, but this is Tony Hawk. And the reason I put it in the games category, guys, is because of Tony Hawk Pro Skater and how awesome that game was. But I figured I'd throw this into here because it's kind of on its own little, you know, sports category. But I figured, you know what, let's throw it into video games. Tony Hawk was such an iconic video game as well. Next up, guys, we have Mega Man. This is an awesome pop as well. I love that this one is him leaping right here. This game for me is one that I played on the Super Nintendo, Mega Man X. I played number 1 and number 2. It was a very difficult game too. I don't think I ever actually ended up beating it, but I had to have at least one Mega Man pop to represent, you know, my love for Mega Man X back in the day. All right, I'll be honest, I didn't know this one was a part of the Pop Games line. I wonder, I don't know. I mean, obviously, you know, Dungeons & Dragons is kind of like a board game in a way. But anyways, this is the gelatinous cube, and I thought this pop was just really awesome. I don't know much about Dungeons & Dragons, but obviously, you know, there's so many cool details in there, guys, with it being translucent. You can see some really cool pieces in there with like the arrow, also his hand coming out of the cube. So up next, guys, this is from Mortal Kombat, and this is the flaming Hot Topic exclusive Scorpion. I didn't play a ton of Mortal Kombat, but I think, you know, I played enough that I feel like I had to have at least, you know, one pop in my collection, and this definitely is a pretty solid one. I mean, guys, check out all the awesome detail. The flames on here are awesome. It's kind of got a little translucent look on the top as well, but a really solid Mortal Kombat pop. You could have considered this in the PlayStation category that's coming up here in a second, but we have Nathan Drake from Uncharted. Another one of my favorite series of games, guys. I've played every single one and I've enjoyed every single one as well. And another one that's really cool is Lara Croft right here, guys. Honestly, this captures, you know, more of the PS1 version of Lara Croft, but I actually played this game on the PC back in the day. I have a lot of good memories. It was one of my favorite, you know, computer games to play. But overall, guys, this is the random category, but I gotta say that, you know, even though it's random, a good representation. Up next are the Spider-Man PlayStation Pops. So all of these different PlayStation Spider-Man Pops are going to consist of the Miles Morales game and also the regular, you know, Spider-Man PS4 game. But let's start off with Miles Morales right here, guys. This is the chase version from the Miles Morales game. The normal one of him would actually have a mask on. But I do think there's some awesome detail on this, guys. I love how he's got, you know, the thunder punch coming out of his hand right there. If I remember correctly, that's what it's called. But a really cool dynamic pose. And speaking of dynamic poses right here, guys, we have kind of a winter gear Miles Morales from that game. I love that this pop is actually hanging upside down. That's a lot of really cool detail right there. And you actually don't see that very often. There might be another Spider-Man pop that's like that, but that's pretty cool that they were able to do that. So these next ones, guys, are going to be from the Spider-Man PS4 game, guys. We just have normal Miles Morales Morales. This is kind of before he discovers that he has any powers or anything like that. So, you know, it's a pretty typical normal Miles Morales pop. You got Peter Parker right here, normal Spider-Man, and I love that he's unmasked. He's holding his mask right there in his hands. Definitely a really cool detail right there. And I love the suit that he's got. I think they picked a really good suit, you know, for the PS4 Spider-Man game. Some of the other alternate suits, I do have boxes for these guys, but I just don't have the boxes readily for them. Some of the other suits, guys, that we have for these, we have the negative suit Spider-Man right there. We also have Spider-Punk and also Ghost Spider. These are awesome, really cool variants. Obviously, these are all, you know, comic book related, but since they are from that Spider-Man PS4 game, they are a part of that game's category. Up next, guys, is Crash Bandicoot. Okay, let's start things off, guys, with the normal Crash Bandicoot. I guess it's kind of normal. This right here is actually the chase of the normal version of Crash Bandicoot, and I definitely need the other in my collection. But yeah, for some reason, they made a black and white chase. I don't remember Crash Bandicoot ever being in black and white, but that's the one that I have in my collection for some reason. This right here, guys, is fake Crash Bandicoot. I think this pop is freaking hilarious. You can actually see fake Crash Bandicoot in a couple of different levels, if I'm not mistaken. He just kind of like dances in the corner and stuff. He's just a really random character. And this is from actually Crash Bandicoot 4 that came out on the PlayStation 4 a couple of years ago now. And this has actually some really cool detail to it. I believe this was actually exclusive to like San Diego Comic-Con, if I'm not mistaken. But there's definitely a ton of different, you know, Crash Bandicoot pops that I don't have in my collection. So one of these days, I'll definitely have to add the rest of them. Up next is the entire line of PacMan pops. Okay, starting things off, guys, we've got PacMan right here looking awesome. You know, he's got his gloves, he's got his little boots on. And honestly, they nailed the character of PacMan in pop form. I love, you know, how he's kind of got his PacMan eyes as well. It's not your typical, you know, Funko Pop, just round eyes. Miss PacMan is looking great as well with the pink bow tie in her hair. Obviously, you know, you can't really, there's not really much details to put on, you know, PacMan or Miss PacMan, but I think they did a pretty good job. Okay, and here are all of the ghosts, guys. I'm gonna get all of their names mixed up for sure. I know you have Pinky, Inky, Clyde, and I can't remember the other one, but there's also Blue Ghost that's on the end right there as well. I gotta say that they did a really cool job. I love how they have the little clear stands below them, so it looks like they're floating. And even though this one's really simple, I think Blue Ghost has gotta be my favorite out of the whole bunch. But I think it's awesome that they made an entire line of PacMan pops and they came out great. Next ones I wanna show off, guys, are all of the PlayStation license pops that I have. Holy cow, folks, when I have them all lined up like this, it just seems like a lot of pops. But let's start off with Sweet Tooth right here, guys. This is probably one of the most detailed video game pops that you'll ever see. And kind of like the Flaming Scorpion pop from Mortal Kombat, he has that really awesome translucent hair up top. But so many great details with the mask, the blade, overall, overall Sweet Tooth looks amazing in my opinion. Coming in from the PlayStation 3 era, guys, we have Sackboy. A lot of people forget that this Funko Pop actually even exists. I think it's one of the first video game Funko Pops, if I'm not mistaken, but I have a lot of great memories of playing Little Big Planet, you know, back in the day when we first bought our PlayStation 3. All right, next up, guys, we have Atreus and also Kratos from God of War. And I believe this line of pops is actually from the PS4 God of War game, kind of like the reboot. And I'll be honest with you guys, I didn't really play much God of War growing up as a kid on the PlayStation 2. I kind of prefer the newer ones that, you know, that they had on the PS4 and the PS5. But Atreus is looking awesome, or I guess boy, if you want to call him that.
Boy. Wait for me, boy.
Lots of great detail on that pop, and they did an awesome job on Kratos as well, guys. I would love to see some more God of War pops. They could definitely make a bunch more with all the different characters that are in the game, but these two will have to do for now. All right, from Medieval, we have Sir Daniel Fortescue. This is a game that I actually have played recently, guys. They kind of actually did a remake of the game, came out with it on the PS4 a couple of years ago, and that's the one that I've actually played. But honestly, there's a lot of fun detail on this one too. I love that he's got, you know, his arm that's chilling right there that he's holding. That's kind of what he has before you get any weapons in the game. Next up, guys, one of my favorite video games of all times, we have Sly Cooper from obviously the Sly Cooper franchise. I love that they were able to put this pop on a little pedestal because, you know, he's always crouching, or I guess, you know, jumping and pressing the circle button.
So jump and hit the circle button to land on narrow spots.
That's a rough translation.
But guys, I would love to see another Sly Cooper game here in the near future. The pop is fantastic. Right here, guys, we have Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn with her armor on. I've played the first one. I haven't played played the second one, but I love the detail on this pop with all the different armor that she's wearing. It looks fantastic and such a cool pop for sure. Next up, guys, we have all three of the pops from The Last of Us. So from the first game, guys, we have Joel right there. Obviously, great detail on that one. I love that he's got a shotgun. Behind him, he does have his little backpack and gas mask, which is sweet. Surprisingly, this one right here, guys, is actually from The Last of Us Part 2, but Ellie's looking awesome as well. And also the clicker has some awesome detail as well. I did really enjoy The Last of Us HBO show, and I can't wait for a second season. Just thought I'd throw that in there. And last but certainly not least, guys, we have Ratchet and also Clank. One of my favorite 2-packs of all time, if I'm being completely honest with you, but I really enjoyed playing these games back in the day on the PlayStation 2. The one on the PlayStation 5 is just as fun, guys, and it looks awesome. But both of these pop have some great detail, guys. I love, honestly, you can't go wrong with, simplicity, but when you can add a little bit of detail to some of these video game pops, it definitely shows and definitely benefits from that. But there are all the PlayStation pops, guys. I love these ones. These are freaking legit. And last but certainly not least, guys, I have all of my Sonic the Hedgehog pops. Geez, I'm not gonna lie, this took forever to take them all out of their boxes. But a lot of these are pretty similar, so we'll get through these pretty fast, guys. We have Sonic with the ring, which is a pretty classic one. You have Super Sonic right there, and he's also got the ring. I just realized that these guys both have the same bodies. The head is almost the same. I guess the hair is a little bit different, and obviously the color. We have Shadow right there. This is the only version of Shadow that I have. There's another one that's out there, I believe, with Chow. It's a Hot Topic exclusive. Right here you have Sonic with the emerald. I love that the emerald is translucent. That's a fun little detail right there. I guess we can address these two big guys right here, guys. These are by far the most expensive Sonic pops in my collection. We have the original Knuckles and the original Tails. Both of these guys, you can totally tell, are definitely older from the molds that they have. They're definitely very, stocky and weird looking, but I definitely think they're pretty solid, guys. Really fun pops, and I definitely need the original Sonic as well. I'm still missing that one. But coming back down here, guys, we have the Hot Topic exclusive Werehog. Not a bad figure either. This one took forever for me to stand up. I guess it did have a stand. I just forgot to take it out of the box, but this is the glow in the dark silver. If you're wondering, guys, I have the normal and the I have the normal one and also the glow in the dark one, so that's why only one of them is out of the box. Here we have all three of the flocked Sonic pops that I have, guys, and these two right here were actually exclusive to Target for Target Con. But we have Tails and also Knuckles. I know Tails is one that's gone up in price actually quite a bit, and it's not really one that's like super old by any means, but it's kind of crazy how much it's gone up in price. And if we're talking price, guys, this one actually is pretty steady in value as well. I think at one point it was around like $100, but this is the Funko Shop exclusive Sonic, and it is flocked as well, just like all three of those right there. But then at the end right here, guys, this is a San Diego Comic-Con exclusive. I want to say it was from last year, but this is the Super Sonic first appearance, and it also glows in the dark, so that's a really cool one. And then we have the GameStop exclusive 2-pack of Super Tails and Super Silver. Awesome that they have them on the stands right here. All three of these, I guess, for that matter. Gives them a pretty dynamic, flying, floating pose. But guys, that is all of my Sonic pops. A really awesome collection. And that does it for all of my video game pops. Well, folks, that's all of my video game Funko Pops. I gotta say, these videos do take a very long time to make. So if you could, please leave a like. That would be awesome. I've done this before, guys, with the Simpsons collection, and I showed off every single Simpsons Funko Pop. So you'll have to let me know in the comment section below what, line of pops you would like to see next. At least the ones that that I have a bunch of. But be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on any future videos like this one here. Thank you guys so much for watching again. You guys are awesome and the best. Like always, remember to be kind to one another and always promote positivity. I will see you in the next video. Catch you guys later.